I'm disappointed in you. I never knew you could do such a thing. You are such a cheating partner.
I have done nothing wrong. He is just a friend and nothing else.
So you're telling me nothing's going on? Because from where I'm standing, you barely come home anymore.
Lower your voice. You're jumping emotions again. He is just a friend, and I'm tired of explaining that.
A friend you text till 2 a.m.? A friend you cancel plans with me for? Don't insult my intelligence.
You're twisting everything. I'm allowed to have friends. Not every man in my life is someone I'm cheating with.
It should have been the happiest day of my life. The chandeliers sparkled above, casting beams of light across the dance floor, making everything look perfect. The ceremony went off without a hitch. Her smile as she walked down the aisle, the vows we shared, the promises of forever. I was sure I had found the love of my life. But 3 hours into our wedding reception, I found myself standing alone at the bar, watching my new wife spin around on the dance floor, laughing in the arms of another man, Jake, her best friend from college. I had heard about Jake before, but this was different. He was the guy she always told me was like a brother, and I believed her. I had no reason to feel threatened. But now, seeing them together like this, so carefree, so at ease, it felt like something was off. I could feel the eyes of our guests shifting uncomfortably, murmuring in hushed voices. I wasn't imagining it. I could see it in the way she smiled at him, the way he held her, the way their eyes locked in a way that wasn't just friendly. I tried to stay calm, but the jealousy bubbling inside me was hard to ignore. My cousin, Kelly, noticed too. "You okay?" she asked, her voice careful. I didn't answer. Instead, I reached for my phone, deciding that if I was going to feel this way, I needed proof. I casually recorded the moments, the way Jake's hand slid lower on her back, the way he tucked a strand of hair behind her ear, lingering just a little too long. When she finally returned to me, her cheeks flushed with excitement, I could barely hide my frustration. "What's wrong?" she asked, completely unaware of the storm brewing inside me. "You spent our entire wedding with him," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. She laughed it off, dismissing my concerns. "Don't be silly. Jake's just my best friend. You knew that when we got married. I'm just making sure he's having a good time." But I wasn't sure anymore. I wasn't sure that I was the priority in her life. 2 weeks later, we arrived in Bali for our honeymoon. It was supposed to be perfect. Sunrise yoga, beach dinners, adventures to hidden temples. But it didn't feel like paradise, not with her face buried in her phone. I couldn't ignore it anymore. She was texting Jake constantly, even while we were supposed to be relaxing together. "Who are you texting?" I finally asked, trying to keep my tone light. "Just Jake. He's having a crisis at work," she replied, not looking up from her screen. A crisis? He worked in marketing. It wasn't an emergency, but she still spent hours talking to him, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I tried to create a special moment, a dinner without phones, but she excused herself to the bathroom, and when she came back, I could tell she'd been texting him again. I tried not to let it get to me, but the suspicion gnawed at me. I started going through the wedding footage I'd captured, hoping that maybe I was just imagining things. But when I watched the way Jake had looked at her, possessive, territorial, it made my blood run cold. And then I saw it, a comment he made to someone that I hadn't heard in the chaos of the wedding. "I give it 6 months. She always comes back to me." I couldn't ignore it any longer. The emotional affair had started long before our wedding day, and now, on our honeymoon, I was nothing but a side character in her life. A week into our trip, I confronted her. "You're not really here, are you?" I asked, carefully watching her face for any sign of recognition. "Your mind is always somewhere else, with him." She was defensive, dismissing my concerns as paranoia. "Jake's my best friend. Why are you so threatened by that?" But I wasn't threatened by their friendship. I was threatened by the way she seemed more interested in me, her husband. And the more I tried to get her to see that, the more she retreated into her phone, into Jake's world. As the days passed, I started making plans. I couldn't live like this. I started researching divorce lawyers, looking into the best way to handle this. The evidence I had, the wedding footage, the text messages, they painted a picture I couldn't ignore. When we returned home, everything felt different. We were living together, but it was like we were two strangers. She continued to spend more time with Jake, sneaking around, texting him late into the night. The pain was unbearable, but I had to stay focused. I hired a private investigator to get more proof, and what they found confirmed everything I suspected. Jake had been in love with her for years. He'd always been there, waiting for the right moment to make his move. And now that I was out of the picture, he finally had his chance. I confronted her again, and this time there was no denying it. I told her that I was filing for divorce. The marriage was over. She didn't understand at first. "You can't just give up," she begged. "I'll change, I promise." But I knew better. This wasn't about change. It was about priorities. She had chosen him long before we ever said "I do." The divorce proceedings were quick. I moved out, signed the papers, and left. It was the hardest thing I'd ever done, but also the best decision. The relief was palpable. No more pretending. No more living in a marriage that was built on lies. A few months later, I got a message from her. She wanted to talk. But I had moved on. I was dating someone new, Priya, who was everything I needed. The contrast between her and my ex was night and day. Priya was present. She was real. I never responded to the text. And as for my ex, she started dating Jake, the man who had patiently waited in the wings for years. But their relationship didn't last. After a few months, the cracks started to show. Derek, the perfect friend, turned into the jealous, possessive boyfriend. It didn't take long for her to realize that he wasn't the perfect man she thought he was. I saw the collapse of their relationship from a distance, and for the first time, I felt truly free. Free from the manipulation, the betrayal, and the fantasy of what could have been. Now I'm with Priya, and it's real, it's genuine, and I can't help but wonder if my ex will ever realize what she truly lost. But that's not my problem anymore. I've learned my lesson. I won't settle for anything less than I deserve, and neither should you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe for more heart-touching stories.